What if I told you the United States once had an emperor? Not in the sense of a power-hungry ruler or a political kingpin wrapped in ego and dollars. No, this man wore a beaver fur top hat with feathers, a military jacket with golden epaulets, and a sword. He dined for free at San Francisco's finest restaurants, printed his own currency, which some places actually accepted, and issued decrees in local newspapers ordering the dissolution of Congress, the construction of a suspension bridge across the bay, and crucially, the banning of the word Frisco. He was friends with Mark Twain. He tried to marry Queen Victoria. He called himself Norton I, Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico. And for 2 decades, San Francisco just let him. This isn't satire, it isn't fiction. It's one of the most strangely beautiful, profoundly human stories in American history. Joshua Abraham Norton was born in England around 1818. Raised in South Africa, he emigrated to San Francisco in 1849 at the height of the gold rush. The city was chaos, exploding in population, wealth, and eccentricity. A fertile place for someone like Norton to plant a flag. At first, he did well, really well. He started in real estate, importing goods, even speculating in commodities. He made a fortune worth millions in today's money. But then, in 1852, the gamble that would ruin him. Rice. China was in famine. The price of rice soared. Norton, thinking himself clever, tried to corner the market. He bought out an entire shipment at 12 cents a pound, expecting it to spike. But several more ships arrived. The price collapsed. His rice sat worthless. He sued. He lost. And by 1856, he was bankrupt, publicly humiliated. This is where most stories end. But Norton's was just beginning. On September 17, 1859, the editors of the San Francisco Daily Evening Bulletin received a letter. It read, "At the peremptory request and desire of a large majority of the citizens of these United States,
I, Joshua Norton, declare and proclaim myself Emperor of these United States."
He called on Congress to meet in San Francisco to rewrite the laws. When they ignored him, he issued another proclamation, abolishing Congress. And when they ignored that, he ordered General Winfield Scott, the head of the U.S. Army, to forcibly remove them. No one listened, of course, but the newspapers printed it, and Emperor Norton's reign began. For 21 years, Emperor Norton ruled the streets of San Francisco. Each day dressed in his military jacket, golden epaulets, and beaver hat adorned with feathers, he walked the city, inspecting roads, conversing with shopkeepers, reviewing the police, or perusing newspapers in the library. He had no income, yet he ate at the finest restaurants, attended the theater, rode trains and ferries, all for free. Why? Because he was the emperor. Some even hung signs in their windows that read, "By appointment to His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Norton I." When his uniform wore thin, the city bought him a new one. When he walked by, police officers saluted. One theater refused to start its performances until Norton had taken his seat. Was it delusion? Was it performance? San Francisco didn't care. The city, fractured, ambitious, full of hustlers and oddballs, chose to embrace him. Norton issued decrees, printed in newspapers, posted on walls, spoken aloud, covering everything from the visionary to the absurd. He banned the Democratic and Republican parties. He abolished Congress multiple times. He called for the construction of a suspension bridge between Oakland and San Francisco, nearly 70 years before the Bay Bridge was actually built. He outlawed the use of the word Frisco, calling it a blasphemy against his beloved city, and declaring a $25 fine for anyone who dared utter it. He suggested that President Lincoln should marry Queen Victoria to secure peace between the nations, and famously, he added to his title, Protector of Mexico. No one obeyed him, but everyone read the proclamations. Some were even forged by newspapers, mischievously trying to sound like Norton. Eventually, he designated the Pacific Appeal, a local paper, as his official imperial organ. Norton wasn't alone. He was often seen with two strays, Bummer and Lazarus, dogs who became celebrities in their own right. One cartoon even showed the three of them holding court together. Mark Twain lived in San Francisco during Norton's reign and almost certainly knew him. Twain later immortalized him as the King in Huckleberry Finn. Robert Louis Stevenson featured him too, writing, "In what other city would a harmless madman who supposed himself emperor have been so fostered and encouraged?" And that was it. The city played along, not mockingly, not with cruelty, but with affection. The emperor was part of San Francisco's soul. In 1867, a rookie police officer arrested Norton, tried to have him committed for lunacy. The city exploded. Editorials in every paper decried the arrest. One wrote, "He has shed no blood, robbed no one, and despoiled no country," which is more than can be said for his fellows in that line. The police chief released Norton immediately and issued a formal apology. Norton, in turn, pardoned the officer. From that day forward, San Francisco's police were ordered to salute the emperor when they saw him. Norton's reign wasn't just ceremonial. He took it upon himself to mediate public tension, especially during times of unrest. In 1878, at a rally stirring up anti-Chinese hatred, Norton reportedly stood in front of a furious crowd and demanded they disperse. He failed to stop them, but he tried, alone, in the middle of the mob. Norton preached tolerance, issued proclamations supporting Native rights, African American rights, even proposing a League of Nations decades before the United Nations was born. He was broke, likely mentally ill, but also kind, proud, and deeply committed to the performance of peace. On January 8, 1880, Emperor Norton collapsed at a street corner on his way to a science lecture. He died before help could arrive. The San Francisco Chronicle ran the headline, "Le Roi Est Mort," the king is dead. He died with a few coins in his pocket, some faded bonds, and letters to Queen Victoria. One note, possibly a prank, was a telegram from the Tsar of Russia, congratulating him on an engagement to the Queen. He was to be buried in a pauper's coffin, but San Francisco wouldn't allow it. Businessmen donated a rosewood casket. Tens of thousands came to his funeral. It was one of the largest in the city's history. He was first buried in the Masonic Cemetery, then later moved to Woodlawn Cemetery in Colma. Today, his headstone still reads, Norton I, Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico. Norton's legacy lives on. Every year, admirers still visit his grave. Campaigns have pushed to rename the Bay Bridge after him. His image appears in comics, novels, poems. He's a Discordian saint, a cultural ancestor of performance art. And most of all, he remains a symbol of kindness, of whimsy, of a city's decision to say, yes, you can be emperor. Maybe that's what makes his story so enduring. He was no ruler, he passed no laws, but for 21 years he ruled the city's heart, simply by believing he could.
Long live the Emperor.